I caught up with Brian Burns in the Giants locker room, and he admitted that collapse the team suffered a week ago against the Denver Broncos, the feelings from that game, they lingered a little bit more than a normal loss, and that's understandable. The Giants were off a momentous victory over the Philadelphia Eagles and had their foot on the throat of a team in the Denver Broncos who have Super Bowl aspirations, were the better team through three quarters before that game completely and totally got away from them in the fourth. But those remnants, the feelings of what could have been, they're gone from the Giants now. In fact, from talking to Burns, they're focusing on the silver linings of that game. Again, that was a championship contender in Denver, and the Giants were the better team against the best defense in the NFL and a high-powered offense for three quarters, and that gives them hope for the rest of the year in a division that Burns told me is, quote, wide open.
Welcome back, Giants fans, to another edition of the Chuck Knoxx Show. Fresh off the heels of the ICU unit and out of the coma, as the majority of us, hopefully the majority of us, are recovering from last week's mile-high miracle. And as you've seen right there at the beginning right here, that's what I want to talk about. And we're going to put that as far behind us as possible. It's going to be tough. You can't really go through something historic like what we witnessed last weekend. Historically a record book. That was a record-setting collapse by the Giants. And the thing that I waited for all week was to see how this team was going to respond. What was the mindset? Because you can read between all the bullshit, the cliche, we got to look at the tape kind of nonsense that are the one-liners that you hear in a press conference. But I have to say, I like the attitude that I'm seeing, the demeanor on the players, especially from the young guys, the dogs like Jackson Dart, and right there being led by Brian Burns. So you have to understand, as hard as it is for the fans to get over last week, the guys in the field have no choice. They have absolutely no choice. They're going to be heading to Philly Saturday, and they have to go to war with an Eagles team that is looking for some get back. They're looking to respond to the Giants beating the shit out of them in prime time. So this team has absolutely no time to sit here and feel sad for themselves and wonder what the hell went wrong. We'll be talking about this game as Giants fans and as Broncos fans will be too for the rest of our lives. If you were a young fan or you weren't even born yet for the Deshaun Jackson miracle or the previous Herm Edwards miracle, this is the thing that you guys will never want to talk about. But it happened. And how this team responds going forward will determine a lot, not just for the season. Because that kind of loss, honestly, that can shake your foundation. And I said it last week, in the Raw post-game, if you haven't seen it, it's out there, go watch it. That's raw emotion, X-rated, but those are real emotions. But I said the best recipe for this, the one thing that I could want more than anything, give me Philly. Give me the Eagles after something like this. Why not? Are you kidding me? Why not? Give me the world champs, our biggest rival across the street, and a team that we embarrassed just 2 weeks ago. Because they're going to be looking for a fight come Sunday at the Link. And I can tell you that this Giants team, they're going to be ready for this fight. Love to see Brian Burns, the leader on defense, come out and say the exact same thing that fans like myself have been saying, and there's not many of us right now. But some of us have been saying, look, this is far from over. I get it. Some people are going to be still rolling out of bed before kickoff on Sunday. They'll still have the IV in their system at that point, on life support. But that shit is in the past now, and a massive opportunity awaits the New York Giants. The reality is, this is as big a weekend as last weekend. Yes, had the Giants won, flying high, 3.5 quarters. You're talking about an entire different outlook. You're talking about, you may even have the national media and the national opinion of the Giants being, can Philly beat the Giants? Not the other way around. But that didn't happen. But what did happen was the Giants showed for 3 quarters, they stood toe-to-toe with a playoff contender and the best defense in the National Football League, or at least one of the best. And they had them on the ropes, 19-0 in the fourth quarter. And even when Denver was building their comebacks, the Giants were responding with points. So if you're a Giants fan headed this weekend, I don't know why you shouldn't be optimistic. The offense has shown you, led by Jackson Dart, that they have the ability, and this team, to compete with anybody. Take away that, the fourth quarter collapse. The Giants looked their best so far in 3 games against playoff caliber teams. Chargers, Eagles, Broncos. So I'm looking at this weekend. I mentioned this in the post game, and I thought, this was the one thing I wanted to focus on all week long. It was what's gonna get me. I'm straight edge, so I'm not hammering back 40 beers to get me through the week. Whatever you got to do it, do it. But what was getting me through the week was the opportunity that we have right here this weekend. Because believe it or not, it's all right in front of the New York Giants. Is right there. It's still right there. Look at it. You have a chance to sweep the Eagles for the first time in I don't know how many presidential administrations, but a couple. Massive opportunity there. You do that, you get to 3-5. And if the rest of this weekend stacks up the way that it very well could, it is not impossible. The Dallas Cowboys at 4 o'clock. The Giants handle their business but if they handle their business, the Dallas Cowboys roll into Denver to play those very same Broncos. And if you think that the Broncos are not going to be riding high after one of the biggest wins in their franchise, you're out of your damn mind. I expect the energy and the atmosphere in Mile High to be twice as what it was for the Giants game. Because if you're on the Broncos in now, how excited are you? Your belief now in your team is through the roof. Because you're thinking, you know what? You can put us on the ropes for 3.5 quarters. And Dallas doesn't have a defense. The Giants had some form of defense. But Dallas has nothing. So you have to be going to this game really confident. To stay at pace, to stay on top of your division right now with a massive opportunity against the Cowboys. And as a Giants fan, you got the Cowboys going into Denver. That's a very losable game for the Dallas Cowboys. Their offense, they can get into a shootout. But if they're forced to make stops, game over. And so that would put the Cowboys with the same win total as the Giants. 3 wins, if that all happened by 7 o'clock at night on Sunday. And you get to the Monday night game, and listen, you want to talk about where these teams are going and what these teams in this division look like? I understand. If you only want to focus on that one quarter, that last 13 minutes or so of the Giants game, go ahead. Go ahead. If you've been around this channel long enough, you know where I'm going. I'm a glass half full guy. And so I see a Giants team that has been red hot. The Giants, whether you like it or not, over the last 8 quarters, well, that minus the piece of shit quarter, what team in the NFC East has looked better? So now you have a Commanders team going into finish off the weekend into Kansas City, playing a unbelievably red-hot Chiefs team. Just blanked the Raiders. And you're going to have to do it, by the way, without Jayden Daniels. And you don't have to be a Giants, Cowboys, Eagles fan to understand and to be honest and say that trajectory that the Commanders were on from last year, coming out of nowhere, going into the NFC Championship game, that's taken some roadblocks. That's hit the wall. The Commanders have had a lot of struggles. And so now, and they've also been very injury prone right now. They got a lot of injuries on offense to deal with. And now you're without your best player on the entire roster. And you got to go into Kansas City on a night game, on prime time, and try and take out the Chiefs? I don't think so. Could happen. But again, tell me, is it likely that they lose that game? Yeah, it is. So you have to say to yourself, there is a scenario where we're talking here Tuesday morning where, again, the New York Football Giants are the only team in the NFC East that won a game. And if they do, bam. Conversation at that point is reset. Now, it is a massive task to take out Philly twice. They're going to have guys on the field they didn't have last time, and so will the Giants. But the Giants now have the belief, and they know that they can take their best shot. Think anybody wants to play that Giants team right now? When you got a bunch of guys, young guys that believe in themselves like that believe that no matter who's in front of them, they can punch you in the mouth and knock your ass out. So, this weekend is a chance for the NFC East to be reset. Certainly is an opportunity for the Giants to get themselves right back in this entire conversation. And yes, I understand. Giants have, starting this week, the toughest schedule from here on out. But have they not proven to you that they can step up and play against the toughest teams on that schedule? Yes. There's nobody that I can look on that and say that's a definite loss. The Lions game being the absolute toughest down the road, on the road. But I don't want to get ahead of anything right now. It's all about Philly. It's all about this weekend. And I am telling you that you should be thrilled at the opportunity that you get to play the Eagles after what you went through as a fan. I know you had the life taken out of you, got the shit kicked out of you, and you're looking for blood this weekend. I understand. Philly had a tough game against Minnesota, could barely put the Vikings away on the road. They're not playing great football. I'm looking at a Giants team that's ready, chomping at the bit, foaming at the mouth, coming off the leash like Cujo right now to hunt. And they've already proven they can hunt Philly. So I'm optimistic. I'm very optimistic as a Giants fan that they can turn it all around this weekend. Now, it all starts at 1 o'clock. It all starts with what the Giants, how's the Giants defense going to respond? Shane Bowen, will he learn his lessons finally? Will he have the same mentality of Philly the first time around? What happens when he gets a lead? Is he going to drop 8 back and see how far the other team can come back before making any adjustments at all? Absolutely pissed me off today in his press conference, talking about I need to do better and I need to make sure that I put all the best guys out on the field. No shit. No shit. It's the stuff like that after what you go through. What are the obvious things that fans are watching in that Denver game? And then to hear a guy come out and say 5-6 days later, maybe I should have put all my best guys out on the field. That kind of stuff right there drives me nuts. That it's like people already have their opinions of this coaching staff to begin with. And then when you see things like that, you're like, how do you defend that? You can't. And good on Brian Burns and these leaders for twisting things and taking this positive spin this week, that the things that they said post-game, Brian Burns being caught in the tunnel, complaining about dropping 8 in the coverage and basically throwing his secondary under the bus by saying that, no, I was talking about we had dropped 8 and they still got through. No, I mean, they can do what they want, and I understand that. You're not going to throw the coaches under the bus after all the emotions are coming back down to earth. But we all saw it. We're all sitting there screaming, what the hell's going on? We watched it happen in Dallas. So Shane Bowen out there talking a big game. We'll see. Because the Giants and the coaching staff, everybody in that locker room has a huge opportunity to reset on Sunday. You know what it's like here on this channel. We go forward. We go forward. There will be a hype video before the Eagles game. I'm not going to sit there and I'm going to tell you right now, if you're listening to this now, don't expect a bunch of highlights of how great we were for 3 quarters. We know what the fuck happened. But I will rally the troops the best I can do for those that are ready and still in the fight. And I appreciate everybody still having that enthusiasm and still here right now. And hopefully fans, if things go our way this Sunday and go the way we just talked about, that you see, we have 10 games left starting this weekend. A lot of football left. Stay in the fight. There's a lot to be excited about this team, and they're fun as hell to watch. Had a lot of Broncos fans come here on this channel and on other platforms this weekend. I talk a lot of shit going in the week. I'm a hype man. That's what I do. But when we lose, I take an L. And so I'm glad, and I hope that other opposing fans appreciate that aspect of the kind of culture that we have here on this channel and a part of Team Knox. And I appreciate a lot of the Broncos fans that said a lot of nice things about not just me, but the Giants. That was nice. And that's going to be a weekly thing. We're going to make people understand that these are not your old school Giants. These are not the Daniel Jones era Giants. And it starts this Sunday, 1 p.m. So if you're following this channel, there will be a hype video. I did make a Shane Blow It music video. Some of you guys have seen this. That's about to fully launch. Big news for you guys listening to this right now. If you like the Fuck Philly song, that's on this channel, the music video, that song will drop on Spotify tomorrow. You just have to type in my name or type in Fuck Philly, P-H-U-C-K. That song will be out for a Philly weekend. They hit them with the scat song, will be on Spotify in the coming days. I'll announce that, and we got plenty more to come. Content dropping all week long, all season long. You know where to find me, Mr. Chuck Knoxx on YouTube and Facebook. Different content on every platform. And of course, Chuck Knoxx on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I will be, of course, live. You guys will see the reaction of the game, posting that post-game Sunday, and hopefully it's going to be exactly what we need and what we've been waiting for, and exactly the kind of recipe for getting over one of the worst disasters in the history of this franchise. Till then, stay up, stay ready. We got a huge game and a huge opportunity this Sunday. Fuck Philly. Let's go Giants. I'll see you guys real soon.